The new skill damage formation is set to release literally in a handful of days. They're getting ready to have the LA meetup when it comes to the USA meetup for Rise of Kingdoms, and this is something they are going to release. And so with that being said, we need to go through this and go through how skill damage has transcended through the years and where we're at now with it, because it's just not doing it anymore. The only way for it to really work is for this guy, Chen. And so we went through the exercise of switching commanders and the damage factors and all those things. So we'll talk about all that. This will be the video that gets you prepared for the new formation coming out in just a handful of days. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time and absolutely love doing these videos. If you would, be sure to throw a thumbs up. Give this video a like. Helps out the algorithm a ton. Helps out the video and the channel. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. It does not cost you a thing. You can also hit that bell if you want any alerts when I put out content like this. Well, here's our boy Chen, right? And he was an outlier. Okay, when they put Chen in the game, he was unique. He was extraordinary. And the reason why is because what has been happening with skill damage commanders is that they've been falling off. Okay, these commanders have been falling off in the field when it comes to what they're able to do. Hold on, let me come over here to archers. You got Zhuge, you've got all the different, you got Ash, you got Herman, you got all these different commanders when it comes to skill damage. You can come over here to the cavalry, same thing. You've also got Nevsky, you've got William. Now, William's kit's a little different. He's been able to last kind of longer than some of these other commanders, but you have many of these. Of course, we talked about YSG and how unique that is. You've got Belly, you've got all these different commanders that do skill damage that just aren't doing it anymore. They're just not happening. We're just not that into them anymore. And so from there, what happened? Like, how did this work? Because I'm going to have a card in the top, okay? And it goes through a fun exercise that we did. If you converted all the skill damage commanders to their respective damage factor and damage out or damage output as far as the damage of their unit. Like, if you took Guan and you made him a smite commander, right? If you took Ragnar and made him a smite commander, and if you took Nevsky and made him a combo commander with all the enhancements and different things that he does. And what we found out was that they're already kind of broken if you just change the way their damage works. Like Ragnar, if all this damage here with the additional damage, if that was all smite, all of it, and then you had any kind of enhancements were converted to smite enhancements and not skill damage enhancements like this 4 skill. We went through that on all these commanders. They were like, holy geez, these commanders will be broken. Well, why is that? Why is that? Like, obviously it doesn't work for skill damage because these commanders are getting just absolutely just drilled in the field when it comes to them running skill damage. So why, if you didn't change anything, you didn't change the damage factor number, and if you didn't change anything else in the kit, why would they all of a sudden be really, really good? And then the meta, if you just change the damage type. And the reason why is because it's not about the damage factor and it's not about the enhancement factor. Like, you take Nevsky over here, guys, follow me, okay? I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible. You take Nevsky over here, and this is why he was so good for so long, and this is why people still use him in weird situations. But you take Nevsky and you ramp up his triggered skill damage bonus to 60%. Like, if you had this for combo, it would be like off the charts. Like, what are we doing? Like, it would be insane. If he was a combo commander and you paired him with Achilles, he would be absolutely insane. Nevsky would. And so from there, why is that? And why aren't these skill damage commanders working? Well, it's not just about commanders having skill damage mitigation like you see here, okay? Tons of commanders have these where they mitigate skill damage, all right? And Attila's one of these. Let me see, where is this at? I think it is it here or here? Here? Oh, from his active skill? Okay, skill damage reduction, 15%. I mean, all these commanders have them. Gorgo has it. Gorgo has a massive skill damage reduction, and that's why it works so well in the meta for garrisons, where you take less skill damage. All the commanders have this, but it's not just about the commander skills. It's also about the talents. Because we have had for so long all these different ways. Now, this used to just be skill damage, and this runs up to 9%. We've have all these different ways to mitigate skill damage, okay? Two big ones there when it comes to the garrison side. Cavalry, we know this. We are anti-skill with Emblazoned Shield. We've had this forever. Now, they didn't add combo and smite to the new update. They didn't add that to Emblazoned Shield. It kind of would have been broken. But from there, they added some other things in there, and the point is, it's not about the damage factor, it's about all the mitigation for skill damage. Because not only were we running skill damage commanders in the game for years, we were also running up the skill damage mitigation in the game for years. And so when combo and smite come out, we don't have that much mitigation for combo and smite. We got a little bit on some of the special inscriptions that we have, but there's not a lot of smite and combo mitigation when it comes to the game. That is why they added some of this stuff, y'all. That is why, like if you come down in here on the skill tree in Heraldic Shield, they added combo and smite. All right, I didn't necessarily agree with it, and I kind of still don't, but that's what they've done to kind of help balance it. And now we're already starting to see how it works. My buddy Daddy Furious, right? He's a fellow YouTuber. He was doing his live stream fighting Kingsland. He was running the theory craft that I put together, but also implemented and said, hey, everybody needs to run CPO Luce instead of Luce Alex. And part of the reason why is because CPO primary has got crazy damage mitigation that now adds smite and combo. So we're getting a glimpse of why skill damage had been, I'm not going to say nerfed, had been mitigated for years. Because you simply add smite and combo to emergency protection and loose formation, and it makes CPO so tanky. So naturally it makes sense because these two talents were originally built to mitigate skill damage. Okay, so now we just saw a live and living color. Okay, now it makes sense. This is why smite and combo have excelled so well. It's simply because the mitigation of commander skills and the talent trees have not caught up to it like it has for skill damage. Skill damage is baked in. Like there's nothing anybody can do. Like you've got all the different talents, you have all the different commander skills that have mitigation to skill damage so much. And we know this just from the garrison commanders, because we've always had impregnable over here. That's 15% less skill damage, y'all. Like if that said smite and combo, that would totally be a game changer. Okay. And so with that being said, what are they gonna do? And how do we do this? Because there's two different ways you can rebalance a game. Okay. You can rebalance the game in the first way by just adding and changing current things within the game. And that's what they did. They started doing some of that. They picked and choose, which is really kind of arbitrary, but they picked and choose which one of these talents they were going to change. You had these over here. I think in the skill tree, you had Heraldic Shield. Okay. I think in let me see, on Martial Mastery, they did a couple of things, but this is more mitigation to combo and smite. But in the defense tree, they were able, or I'm sorry, actually, where is it at? In the defense tree, is that right? In the defense tree, they added loose formations. Loose formation here to where a skill or a combo and smite were added to it as well. So you can do it by adding things in the game and changing things, or you can do it by releasing new things. Well, when skill damage was falling off so hard, and it started in 2025, they released this guy, okay, which he is so unique with his rage consumption, and he's so unique in how he works. He is ultimate skill damage commander, but he pumps out skill damage every second like it's regular basic attack. And he pumps it out to AoE. And so it's like they overcharged, or I should say supercharged a commander. They supercharged a commander to combat the balance of skill damage. Well, now they're stuck in a situation. Because if they do something with a new formation that's coming out, and let's just go through this real quick. if they do something with the new formation that's coming out that's drastically going to enhance some of the things that the current wedge formation does, then it's really going to help some of those old commanders, but it's going to make a commander like Chin just completely broken, like just completely off the charts broken, unless they stick to certain things with it, unless they make it like single target type stuff. Okay, and so from there, how can we project this? What kind of formation are we going to get? Are we going to get a formation like this wedge skill damage formation that's going to be directed to more of the second thing is going to address maybe mitigation, like smite and combo mitigation? Is that what we're going to see? We're going to see a lot of the same kind of enhancements with boost to skill damage, but then down here, we're going to see all damage mitigation. Or this commander troops take, there's a 10% chance this commander's troops will take 20% less smite combo and skill damage over the next 3 seconds or something. You're going to get different mitigations that actually help balance out that whole differentiation between smite and combo and skill damage. Because skill damage, we just already have so many mitigations. So we need like smite and combo mitigations. That's what we need. Like 10% boost to skill damage over here, that's off the charts. That's off the charts. Like they can't make that any better. Like, so from there, what are they going to do? How are they going to add this thing? How are they going to put this thing out? Because guys, we're getting it this weekend. Like it's coming. It's coming. I don't have any insider information. Nobody's told me that. But the way they typically do these meetups, they release all kinds of new stuff. And the new formation they've said comes in March. They've said that repeatedly. And it's March. And we're getting ready to have a big LA meetup. I can't go to it. I've got stuff I've got to do with kids in spring break. I was planning on going, so I won't be able to meet you guys there. But we're going to get some crazy information out when it comes. And so from there, how do they figure this out? Because again, it's not necessarily about the damage that's output. It's not about that. It's not about the damage. Like listen, here's the thing. Let me give you a stark comparison that will help make all this make sense. You have Zhuge. Zhuge puts out 2,000 damage factor to 5 targets in an AoE circle, right? And he's got good bonuses, and he's got skill damage bonuses. He's got all the different things that he has. And then you take a commander like Achilles. Achilles is infinitely, I'm going to say infinitely, he is so much better than Zhuge. So much better. But if you actually look at the damage output, it's the exact same. It's 2,000 damage factor. Now he has the divine heritage, and you also throw the Hephaestion arm or the Hephaestion armor that he's got, along with the Palean spear that fires off more often. But he's like Zhuge. He has like normal damage bonus. Okay, I mean he's got all incoming skill combo. Now he's got this for his expertise where he mitigates damage and then turns that into more procs for this. But he's basically the same type of commander as Zhuge. The difference is he's combo. And there's not a whole lot of combo mitigation going out there with commander skills and talent trees. And then on top of this, he's running with, where's it at? Where's my thing? He's running with the Delta. And the Delta formation and what it does for combo attacks is far, far more effective than Wedge, as good as Wedge is. And so it's all about that mitigation stuff, because you literally have two commanders that are like the exact same. But the difference is he's a combo commander, and without the combo mitigations out there and without all the things in the talent trees that we mitigate skill damage with, combo is insanely better, even though it's the same damage factor. Does that all make sense now? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you understanding what I'm saying now? And so from there, that's how we have to look at this, and that's how we have to go with what are they going to do with the new skill damage formation? How are they going to balance it? Are they going to just supercharge it and make it overpowered? Because if they do, they're kind of stuck, because they've already released this guy, and we're going to make what? Chin? We're going to make him like Infinity Gauntlet Thanos level. Like that's what he would be. And so from there, where do we go with this? And so it will be interesting to see, but we will see how it works. But I just wanted to put out a video of an understanding. This conversation was literally going on in my Discord this morning. And people were trying to figure out, because of the video I put out previous, about smite and combo and how if you change skill damage commanders to their respective damage type for their troop type, like you change all the skill damage commander for infantry, you make them all smite. We just looked at their kit and we're like, oh my gosh, compared to the current smite commanders we have, this would be amazing. Like they'd be in the meta. Like what? And then we did the same thing with combo. Like, can you imagine combo on Nevsky and all his enhancements? These are Attila level enhancements, guys. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, the reason why Attila is so amazing is because he has crazy normal damage enhancements. Look at this. If you just made this all combo, Nevsky and Achilles would be off the charts. It would be like illegal to run that. Same thing over here with Huo. Skill damage bonus, 30% for the first 15 seconds when you got Dragon of the Desert going. How crazy is that? You got more skill damage bonus down here. You start making him a combo commander, it's like, wait, what? But his damage factor doesn't even have to change. And that's my whole point. When we started looking at that, we were like, wait a minute. The skill damage commanders, they've fallen off, not because their damage factors were low. Look at this damage factor, y'all. Do you guys understand what this is? 2,200 damage factor. Plus the 3 targets he hits, that's another 900, another 900. That's 4,000 damage factor Ragnar does. Well, with all the mitigation for skill damage, it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. We've got so much mitigation and talents and all the different things that it just doesn't matter. And so that's the difference. Because if this was all smite right here, if all of this was smite, and then you just kept his kit the same, he would be in the meta right now. In a heartbeat, right now. We wouldn't be saying run Sun Tzu with William Ross. We'd say run Sun Tzu with Ragnar. Like, that's where we're at. That's what people have to understand. And so with that, we just have to go through this thing and figure this thing out. And so from there, we don't know what kind of skill damage formation we're going to get. It's going to be interesting. I don't think they'll go like a rally garrison route. Maybe they do. But I think they're going to have to do something that's really going to help continue to mitigate that combo and smite damage, because that's basically what's nerfed skill damage. And it just takes time to build that up. It takes time to put the talents in or a new talent tree. It takes time to release commanders with a ton of smite and combo mitigation. It just takes time. It takes time to do all that stuff and really try to balance out the game with new stuff. And so we're about to get a whole bunch of new stuff. New Arch Commanders coming out in April. New formation being announced probably this weekend. So we got to figure all that stuff out. So you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to throw a thumbs up. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you think. I want the interaction. That's what makes these videos so much fun, is that you guys get down there and give me your opinions. I love to get involved with those comments down in the comment section. And if you guys would be so kind, join my Discord. That's where a lot of these conversations come up. And so from there, we love you guys, and it'll be so much fun to see what they do with skill damage. And we hope you have a great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you might be. We'll see you later, broskies.